Hi, so I'm here to talk about the White Chapel that Senwosret I built during the 12th dynasty Middle Kingdom. Now this is a fine example of how these Middle Kingdom kings took the height of Egyptian art and architecture to heart. This is the high period. The best carvings are done during this time of ancient Egypt's history. If you look at the New Kingdom reliefs in the temples, they're sort of very brutal and clumsy and big and brash, whereas the Middle Kingdom's about quality, getting the message over. They understood that these reliefs were magical, that they had magical properties. So let's have a look at this Waystation. It's known in the Karnak Open Air Museum as the White Chapel because it's made out of white Tura limestone. And that Tura limestone came 600 kilometers away at the Tura quarries, which is in Lower Egypt. So they really wanted to make an impression here. He could have used local stone, which would have been a bit vulgar. Sandstones, quite crumbly, but no, he went for the white Tura limestone. It's interesting because if you look at the pictures here, you can see it's in bas relief. Well, what's bas relief? Well, let's have a look at a normal carved picture. So it's carved into the surface of the stone. Well, with bas relief, they've removed the material around to get a raised effect. Wow, this is the finest example in the whole of Egypt. The pictures show the king in embrace with four gods: Amun, Horus, Min and Ptah. They are crowning the king. So these, remember, what you're looking at is magic. If you had pictures like this, it meant it would happen. On the eastern side, it's got a list of the gnomes for Lower Egypt. And on the western side, a list of the gnomes for Upper Egypt. So again, those are magical properties. It shows the two lands of Egypt, the mart, the balance in the country. Great. So what was the purpose of this? That's what we're interested in. Why did he build it? Well, let's go to an open court. This is where the public is going to come, okay? And the public are coming here for favours and requests. And they're going to be paying customers. They're going to be wanting to ask favours of the god Amun-Ra at this point. Remember the reforms that Senwosret I brought in, that every major deity was now a form of the sun god Ra. So our journey starts at the Holy of Holies, at the beginning of the day, when the sun rises, and the high priest and his assistant would go into the Holy of Holies, and they would open up the shrine, and they check on the floor, which was covered in sand, that there were no footprints in the sand, making sure that no one had violated the sacred sanctuary, because in that sanctuary is a booth, and inside the booth is the statue of the god Amun. So they take the statue out and they place it outside of the shrine onto a pedestal, and they would offer the god music, food, drink and burn incense. They wanted to entice the god spirit into the statue. Remember, statues are not idols for worship. They are portals for god spirits to go inside to speak with the living. Then they would place the statue into the shrine, which was on the bark. And then the priests would be allowed in, the bearers of the holy bark. And they'd pick up the bark and off they go to the open court. They'd do a circuit around the open court, and as visitors ask requests, they would stop and give a prophecy. And those prophecies were law. So this is like income. Every clergy in the world is about generating income. You know, it's happened thousands of years ago. It's still there today. Now, let's say you're the priest, one of these priests humping this thing around all day. It's going to get pretty tough, isn't it? You know, all day. This is real hot sun. It's an open court. Goodness sake. So you needed a rest. That's where the Waystation comes in. So it was probably located somewhere in a corner, maybe, or to the side of one of the open courts. And the priests would troll in up that ramp, and they put the bark down onto that pedestal, and they'd take a rest. They'd probably chant and burn incense as priests do. We can only imagine. And then when they were fully refreshed, they picked the bark up and they went down the other side, the other ramp. So that was the purpose of it. So you can see that in its day it was a magnificent structure, and the king fulfilled his prophecy, which was to maintain all the temples, to be the good Horus, to be the good son of Osiris, and to honour the gods. Now, that's the 12th dynasty. Six dynasties later, in the 18th dynasty, a king called Amun-Ra III decides he wants to build a pylon. What's he do? He has this beautiful white chapel taken apart and used as a filler for his third pylon. Goodness gracious, couldn't he see how beautiful it was? But then Amun-Ra III, he's a big vulgar guy, you know. He thinks he is a living god, and he thinks he can do what he likes. But his terrible sacrilege of this Waystation and vandalism of having it taken apart and put inside that third pylon actually saved it for the future. Because when Christianity came to Egypt, they did destroy lots, or they attempted to destroy lots inside these beautiful temples. They would chisel out faces of gods and kings and names, things like that, trying to remove that magic which was in the psyche of the Christian Egyptians. So thankfully Amun-Ra III did this. Yes, it was vandalism, but he saved it for the future. He saved it for us to enjoy. And wow, what a beautiful example. So if ever you do go to Karnak, which is in ancient Waset, the Greeks called it Thebes, modern day Luxor, you must go to the open air museum and see this wonderful Waystation. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please press the subscribe button. There's no money involved. It's not costing you anything. It just ups the ratings. And I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.